Chiruruta. No, but there is a microphone, please. No, use that one behind. Let's save time. Followed by Stella Maris.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity to deliberate more on the President's State of the Nation address. It's my singular honor to appreciate the President for always sparing part of his time to address the nation, Right Honorable Speaker. But Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable colleagues, the State of the Nation address failed to touch base with the cardinal backbone of our people of Greater Masaka, but to be specific, the people of Kalungu, where the main source of livelihood, income lies in agriculture for both subsistence and commercial purposes. But you will realize that even after harvest, most of the produce gets rotten or goes to waste due to lack of ready markets. Our people want to hear that our roads will be constructed for them to be in a position to transport and deliver their produce. Right Honorable Speaker, we are talking of a district with only one Tamaka road, and that is the Kampala-Masaka Highway, which just passes through the district. The President keeps telling us stories about how they fought and how they used to solve problems in the 1980s. But Right Honorable Speaker, I want to assure you that solutions of 1980s cannot solve problems of such a digital era. Right Honorable Speaker, the President keeps putting us in a class of history, re-echoing what happened before 80% of the population was born. We need the President to assure us that that opposing the political status quo does not make us terrorists, like Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi. We need to see a Uganda where people have access to better health and education services, Right Honorable Speaker, with young businessmen not suffering with huge taxes because we want to widen the tax base. We want to have practical solutions, not just rhetorical theory solutions. No wonder the next generation that we shall bequeath this nation to is likely to suffer the over-borrowing problem. This government has a PhD in borrowing, whereby by December 2025, we are having a debt burden of over 120.
Reading. I see how you do it like Honorable Mbide, Mukasa. No, but that's good. Yes, Honorable Stella Maris.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Nesma.
My name is Stella Maris Nankwanga, the woman member of Parliament, Bugwe District. I rise to support the motion to thank His Excellency, the President of Uganda, for the clear exposition of government policy in the State of the Nation address. I appreciate the President for his leadership and for his call of no more sleep, a call to all leaders to wake up and ensure that the government services reach our people. Right Honorable Speaker, I wish to commend the President of Uganda for highlighting the improvement in the health sector and the improvements on the life expectancy from 43 years to 68 years. However, Right Honorable Speaker, I wish to highlight the challenges facing the health sector in Bugwe District. Right Honorable Speaker, Bugwe District has a growing population, yet we don't have a general hospital. Bugwe District has Busesa Center 4 as its main hospital. However, the existing facility has many challenges. Both the male and female ward are inadequate. As a result, the patients end up sleeping on the floor. Right Honorable Speaker, the maternity ward is very small. And when you reach the labor suite, we only have 2 delivery beds in there. The situation there is disturbing, it is alarming, and as a result, our mothers who have just given birth are forced to sleep on the floor. Right Honorable Speaker, Bugweri District in Busia Health Center 4 also continues to have challenges in shortages of essential drugs. I therefore appeal to the responsible ministries to consider elevating Busia Health Center 4 to a general hospital, and as well as ensuring that the maternity ward and the wards are enlarged. I beg to submit.
Thank you. Honorable Onesimus, then Honorable Loluk Fidelis.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I'm Onesimus Twinamasko, Buganga is East, Nkakomero. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank government for working hard toward resolving land matters is concerned. Right Honorable Speaker, in 1964, we had a referendum in the former lost counties, that's Bugangaiza and Buyaga. And this referendum enabled Bugangaiza and Buyaga to return to Bunyoro. However, Mr. Speaker and honorable members, the land titles remained with the absentee landlords in Buganda, some of which are still with the absentee landlords up to now. And Right Honorable Speaker, most people in Bugangaizi East are still squatters on their own land. And it's now 62 years since this referendum was held. And up to now, we've never acquired land titles. So, Right Honorable Speaker, I want to appeal to the government of the Republic of Uganda to expedite the issue of the compensation of all the absentee landlords, because we are suffering. We are being threatened with evictions, Right Honorable Speaker. And the referendum which was held in 1964, Right Honorable Speaker, partly led to the Kabaka crisis, which actually removed the government of then, of Obote 1. And the land question is still a problem in Bugangaiza. I pray that this question of the land gets resolved once and for all. Right Honorable Speaker, the Ministry of Lands, the Uganda Lands Commission is always with money for compensation. However, Bugangaizi has always been neglected. And I feel really this is too much. Surely Bugangaizi and Buyaga, the former lost counties, should be given priority, because this shall be a time bomb. And Right Honorable Speaker, I want to appeal that the Lands Commission, Uganda Lands Commission this time around, gets enough funding to settle the absentee landlords, and then we get able to acquire the land titles.
Thank you, Loluk Fidelis.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Joel Waiswa.
For record, my name is Loluk Fidelis Lugwe, the Member of Parliament from Napora West, Karenga District. Let me take this moment to join my colleagues in thanking His Excellency the President for the State of the Nation address that was delivered on the 4th of June this year. Specifically, I would want to applaud the effort of the President for his wisdom for guiding this country in as far as wealth creation is concerned. That for us to get to a middle income status, we need to uplift the 39% Ugandans that are living under the peace and trade economy to making them join the monetary economy. To be spot on in regard to Karamoja, we have all known that Karamoja is one of those trailing sub-regions in Uganda, that we have a 74% poverty index. So that means for all these efforts that government is trying to put in, we may be meeting challenges. I wish and pray that government puts foundation, and you know Karamoja has been relying majorly on livestock economy. But for the past 30 years of conflict, all that has gone to the drain. So we are struggling. It's therefore my humble prayer to say, we ask government to think of putting an affirmative action of restocking the Karamoja households so that they come to the same level like the rest of the sub-regions in the country. Two, just like my neighbors have spoken about the human-wildlife conflict, I come from a constituency where on a daily basis we have human-wildlife conflict. Crops are being raided, lives are being lost, and I think UWA has not been responsive enough. Even those people who benefited from PPDM lost much of their investments to wildlife trading. I don't know what is going to happen when it reaches time for servicing these loans. Tomorrow I will be interested to attending a committee of tourism so that we have the ideas shared and we'll see what's the best way forward. Right, Honorable Speaker. The other third issue is the inadequate and short supplies on medicines and essential medical drugs in Karenga Health Center 4. Much as Karenga Health Center 4 is supposed to be taken care of Naporo West, but we have a wider catchment area. I do border South Sudan and all of...
Thank you. Wanyoto Godfrey. Followed by, I'm seeing here, Mugoya Bernard.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I'm Wanyoto Godfrey, representing the people of Daddy West. I stand here to extend my sincere gratitude towards the President's State of Nation address. Chair, I want to observe one thing in the address, that when comparing statistics, it would be better if we compare a statistic annually, such that you can get to know how you are progressing. But most of the statistics in the President's State of Nation address was comparing us from now and 1986. Chair, I come from Bugis region, and the President emphasized agriculture, and in particular commercialization of agriculture sector. In particular, Chair, I want to talk about coffee. Our people have benefited a lot in coffee growing, which employs over 80% of people. However, Chair, we have been a bit neglected in that area. Seedlings, I had one of the colleagues here, I think from Otuke, that they get seedlings late. For us, we have never seen it. I saw on social media in Masaka paying money for some coffee seedlings given. Chair, I want the Minister of Agriculture to also put us in their program to get coffee seedlings. Secondly, Chair, we have now encouraged other areas to grow coffee. But Arabic coffee still remains the most delicious coffee. However much you grow it from any other area, it cannot be as delicious as the one from Bugis region. The problem we're encountering, Chair, is adulteration of our coffee. Coffee comes from those areas, it's mixed with ours, and the quality reduces. We want the Minister concerned to help us in that area. Chair, another problem we have in the coffee sector are fake inputs. Right from the fertilizers to the pest used for spraying the coffee, all of them are fake. You wonder where these items pass through to enter the country. I would like to request the Minister in charge of trade to help us and these fake agricultural inputs don't reach the country. I used to have...
Just whenever I needed a clarification, because you say the Bugisu coffee is mixed with other coffee, ends up, who mixes it? Ugandans or where you say it abroad? Because the best coffee comes from the Rift Valley of Mitoma called Chianga.
No, Chair,
the
no.
best Arabic coffee.
So the best is from Oregon region.
Yeah, but I mean that debate can be settled outside, okay?
Chair,
but who mixes?
It's the traders. It's the traders. They get coffee from other areas, because now when the government encouraged other places also to grow coffee, theirs is not as delicious as ours. They
Honorable, that's depicting our national coffee differently. It sends a wrong message, as if coffee is not from Bugisu, it's not coffee. Okay? We are encouraging other areas. I'm going to host you in Mitoma. You taste our coffee. Okay? And you'll come and apologize on this floor after. So, but all coffee in Uganda is good, Honorable. I think that's a record we should report.
Chair, I will come and test in Tomawa.
Thank you.
Chair, you interrupted me. Let me complete.
No, your time was up by the time I asked. I waited until you finished. I never interrupted you. I was very observant. You want to mix your time with mine. And you adulterate mine. Yes. Honorable Mugoya.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Mutebi Bernard Mugoya, a Member of Parliament representing the people of Bulamoji, County, Kaliro District. Right Honorable Speaker, it's my maiden speech that allow me to thank the President on the state of the nation. Right Honorable Speaker, I'm here on the matter of urgent economic necessity for Busoga and the Bukedi sub-regions. Right Honorable Speaker, the construction of only 90 kilometers from Kamuli, Kaliro, and Palisa via Saka Bridge. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to bring this to your attention and the entire House, that the technical teams have already completed the visibility studies, finished the engineering designs, and already submitted them to the ministry. The contractor is ready to break the ground. He is simply waiting for the presidential directive to begin the civil works. Right Honorable Speaker, the road that I'm talking about is a vital economic artery for our sugar cane, rice, and livestock farmers. Right Honorable Speaker, leaving this prepared project stalled at the paperwork stage directly affects our local economies and hinders regional trade. My prayer to the Minister of Works and Transport is that to take immediate administrative action to secure this presidential clearance so that the construction can commence without any further delay. I beg to submit.
Thank you. Honorable Achom, followed by Honorable Namatende Yunus.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. For the record, my name is Achom Esther Lucy. I represent the people of Serere. I also join my colleagues in appreciating His Excellency, the President of our country, for his State of the Nation address, particularly his call for no more sleep and no more corruption. Right Honorable Speaker, if this Kisanja is truly about no more sleep, then it must be about translating our commitments into action. Our people expect tangible service delivery, accountability, and results. Right Honorable Speaker, my first appeal is on health care. The population of Serere district has outgrown the capacity of health center 4. I therefore request the government to upgrade Serere Health Center 4 to a district hospital, and also upgrade Pingire Health Center 3 to Health Center 4 in order to decongest Apapai Health Center 4, and also reduce on costly referrals to our other districts. Right Honorable Speaker, my second appeal is on youth employment and skills. I'm happy the minister is here today. Serere district has no government technical institute. I therefore request the government at least to establish one. We have land, we have Olio Polytechnic, and it is struggling. We have enough land to establish at least one technical school to empower our youth, to equip our youth with practical skills for employment and wealth creation. Today, at least I request the minister present here to give me an update. Minister, this will help me secure the next term. It's just a request. Honorable Minister, you know very well, and you're from Teso, and you know the status of Serere. I request you help me to save my second term. I beg to submit.
Thank you, Honorable Namatende.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Eunice Namatende, the woman representative, Buji District. Thank you very much for this opportunity, Right Honorable Speaker. I'm so pleased. Allow me join the members to appreciate the President. Being a lecturer of management, I want to applaud him for his good managerial skills. Getting us on board, informing us about the status of the nation is very important. And here I stand on behalf of my people of Bujiri. I want to bring the attention of this house about Bujiri municipality. Our municipality is on the highway. We have poor infrastructure. Our roads are very bad. We don't have lighting, and we're expecting the USMID fund. I would like to get information from the Honorable Minister. When are we getting that money? When are we expecting to get the USMID, that our infrastructure in Bujiri municipality can be improved? Secondly, I recently had a meeting with the technical team of Bujiri district. They requested him to inform you that we lack professional human resource. The whole district in all departments. We don't have in Health Center 3, you'll find only 3 medics operating a hospital. You go to a school, you find 4 teachers in a school that has almost 1,000 students or learners. I want to request, we request for money that we can deploy more workers, more human resource. As the President tells us, there is no more leaning on the whole, does not want laziness. We are willing to work hard. I'm supervising. There is nothing now. We are trying to mitigate corruption, but we are requesting you release money that we can get workers. Thank you very much. I'm honored. God bless you.
Thank you. Engineer, before Engineer Tio, I had allowed Honorable Joel earlier on. Yeah. So then Engineer Tio, Engineer Karisa, Honorable Tebiase, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Waiswa Joel Azara is my name, representing the people of Busiki in Namtumba district. Allow me, Right Honorable Speaker, to join my colleagues to congratulate you, being my maiden speech, and in the same vein to congratulate His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda. I want to add my voice, Right Honorable Speaker, in appreciating the President of the Republic of Uganda, that during the State of the Nation address, His Excellency the President emphasized so much and really urged us leaders that if we are to grow this economy, if we are to grow Uganda, it will depend so much on the discipline and the full participation of citizens in the money economy. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the President because he further warned against tolerance of weak execution of mandate in both the government and the communities, arguing that Uganda can only
or cannot achieve transformation if leadership fail to guide citizens into productive works. Right Honorable Speaker, during the State of the Nation address, the President said Uganda's development path has always been about shifting people from subsistence living into structured economic participation, arguing that the biggest challenge has been moving households into the money economy. Right Honorable Speaker, a significant part of the address focused on the cattle corridor, where the President said the mobilization efforts aimed at transforming nomadic patrols into settled commercial farms, which has yielded lasting results. It is on this background, Right Honorable Speaker, that I would like to draw the attention of this House into the current multiple notable cattle diseases outbreak in my constituency, where I have received several reports and general concerns from the farmers who are suffering huge losses of animals due to unknown new disease outbreaks. And it is my prayer, Right Honorable Speaker, that the Ministry of Agriculture interests itself with urgency into this matter to investigate and cause appropriate working solution. During the State of the Nation address, Right Honorable Speaker, the President reflected on our mobilization efforts carried out with limited resource during the struggling period, saying that ideas rather than money drove the movement. Turning to the implementation, Right Honorable Speaker, the President said government programs such as PDM, Emioga and NADS and...
Thank you, Engineer Tio and Engineer Karisa.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I join the rest of my colleagues of goodwill in appreciating what the President presented on the 4th of June this year. But also I want to differ from a friend, a colleague, who said that the President did not have comparative analysis in that presentation. Right Honorable Speaker, if you look at the last paragraph of page 17 and then page 18 at the top, there's a lot of comparative analysis the President has done there. And that's where I'm going to pick my point of appreciation from. For instance, I could paraphrase this as saying, in 1962, only 9% of households were in the money economy. But as of today, we have 67% of the homesteads in Uganda in the money economy. It continues to say that US dollar, our GDP in 1986 was US dollar 3.9 billion, but it has now risen to 69.3 billion by the forex exchange method. But if you use the PPP method, it stands at 197.1, and the whole of that paragraph proceeds in comparative analysis. Therefore, I want to appreciate that, especially with the perspective of decrying the UBOS report, which has continued to put West Nile as the second poorest sub-region in Uganda. It could even be possible that by this morning, Karamoja could have overtaken us, because now they have factories, they have a lot of mining activities going on. I'm just waiting to read the next report where Karamoja sub-region will have overtaken West Nile. Right Honorable Speaker, even in academic institutions, students who are perceived to be slow learners, they are put in different streams so that they can be given special remedial treatment. Now that this country has seen us continuously lagging behind, why don't they put special treatment to bring West Nile on top? It's certainly true that the 33% of homesteads which are not in the money economy, West Nile could have contributed close to 25% of the 33%. My cry to this government.
Thank you. Engineer Karisa followed by Tibyaze Peace.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. For purposes of record, I'm Dr. Engineer John Bosco Koi Karisa, and representing the people of Bweju West. Right Honorable Speaker, I rise to appreciate His Excellency the President for his State of Nation address delivered on 4th June 2026. His Excellency the President, in his State of Nation address, came up with a bold strategy of 10-fold strategy growth anchored on ATMs. And Right Honorable Speaker, for that strategy to happen and grow the economy to $500 billion by 2040, Uganda needs to invest heavily in human capital development. Right Honorable Speaker, that means that for us to deliver that strategy, we need a well-educated, highly skilled, and healthy population. Right Honorable Speaker, going to Bweju West, in Bweju West, we have a corridor of 3 sub-counties, that is Chahenda, Rebenje, and Burere, bordering with Kasio-Hachitom Forest, and none of them has a secondary school. In Bweju West, and even Bweju District, we do not have a technical school. And for purposes of having a highly skilled and well-educated population to participate in that strategy, I request this August House and the government to take consideration of that requirement. Right Honorable Speaker, in having a healthy population that is going to deliver that strategy, in Bweju as a district, we do not have a district hospital. We do not have a health center for Bweju West. We have identified Enganjo Health Center 3 if it can be upgraded into Health Center 4 constituency. There are 2 sub-counties, that is Nyakaziba Town Council and Rebenje sub-county. We do not have Health Center 3s there. So, Right Honorable Speaker, we believe that if we could be given those health centers and those schools, and even if we could be given a technical school where we have already identified a place, some land where we can build it in Richiri, Ibhanga sub-county, we would be very grateful for this government, and our people of Bweju West would participate in that growth rather than being.
Honorable Tibyaze Peace, Honorable Jack Muganda, and Honorable Uhuru Nelson.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Peace Tibyaze, Woman MP, Jinja District. I rise to support the motion on the State of the Nation address and to make a few submissions on behalf of the people of Jinja. Right Honorable Speaker, Jinja District has historically been known for being an industrial, commercial, and tourism hub. However, Right Honorable Speaker, I would commend the government for establishing the Chira Motors in Jinja District. Its aim of establishing this factory was to rejuvenate local industrialization. But however, it would have been a catalyst to also empowering the young generation with employment. We do not see this, and the people of Jinja are really lacking in terms of being able to be part of this development that has been put in our area. Right Honorable Speaker, our local residents possess requisite competences to serve as engineers, welders, electricians, machine operators, drivers, and also as security personnel, and also as support staff. I therefore urge the government to operationalize and deliberately look at the local content to be able to be prioritized as local recruitments and also procurement, so that people of Jinja can equitably benefit from this significant national investment. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to interest this House on the ongoing electricity shortage in our district. Budima Health Center 4 has been out of electricity for over close to 6 months, and yet we have patients in there who really deserve attention throughout the night and also during daytime in purposes of scans and whatever business goes in a hospital. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to submit, but then before submission, I'd want to interest again the House on the ongoing insecurities of Ginger. It is still pending. I've not gotten a response from the ministry, where we are having so many people being killed on the Ginger Highway, Kamuli.
Thank you.
Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Now, I think tomorrow we are also swearing in the Minister of State for Internal Affairs, who will come in to help. Because I understand the President has sworn in today as 3 ministers. Yes, so tomorrow we are going to swear them in here so that they can start work right away. And the Minister of Internal Affairs is overwhelmed, he can be supported. I know this. Honorable Jackie Muganda, followed by Honorable Uhuru Nelson.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Chogabiro Jackie Muganda, District Woman Representative, Chegegwa. I rise to express my profound gratitude to His Excellency the President for decisive blueprint for economic takeoff of strict administrative accountability. I commend the following in his State of Nation address: no more sleep, no politeness to non-performance, various my prayers to the government to intervene and bring definitive conclusion to the severe land issues paralyzing my district by absentee landlords in the areas of Kajumbura, Nkakwa, Migongwe by National Forest Authority, so that they can effectively engage in agricultural activities. My appeal to the Ministry of Energy to provide Chegegwa Hospital with a transformer because it's facing a problem of low power voltage with a single phase line. Lastly, Right Honorable Speaker, I pray that the government establishes an industrial park for the House of Akedo on the land graciously allocated to us by the President to create jobs so that we can match with the growing money economy. I beg to submit, Right Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Uhuru Nelson. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Followed by Honorable Mariam Saif and Honorable Miriam Mukai.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. My name is Uhuru Nelson, the dangerous substitute of the people of Maracha. Honorable Speaker, I want to associate myself with the motion of expressing gratitude to the President's speech, not just for the sake, but because he strained or he talked about the health sector, and truly, if you're to see, compare and contrast, you'll see sincerely the government has really done a great job in the health department. However, to my dismay, speaking of health in Maracha, last month we received a team from the Ministry of Health, and Maracha East was given a health center for status officially, and we were happy we celebrated. But to my dismay today, Maracha Health Center 4 doesn't have a store for the medicine, and the issue of drug theft, I think it is still going to be there because people stay, or the reception is the same place where the drugs are kept. Secondly, speaking of health, Maracha County has no health center 4 and only has the biggest facilities, a health center 3. You can imagine a health center 3 catering for a population more than 250,000 people. It is really not a good situation there in Maracha. My humble appeal through the Minister, or through the Ministry of Health and the Prime Minister, is Maracha Health Center, Oluvu Health Center 3 in Maracha has all the necessary facilities, and my prayer is it to be upgraded to a health center 4 so that we can also cater for the young mothers who are dying each and every day when they are giving birth in Maracha County. On the same note of health, I remember in the last Chisanja, the government was gracious enough to give Maracha East an ambulance and a tractor. The main reason as to why I called myself a dangerous substitute is that the people of Maracha are asking me to inform or to request the Ministry of Health and the Prime Minister, in fact the President, if possible, that the people of Maracha also need an ambulance. If possible, I pray the Minister answers to that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now, Honorable, you're no longer a substitute. Now you're the one here. You're here, you're no longer a substitute. Yes. Now, Mariam Saif, then Honorable Miriam Mukaye.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Mariam Saif, woman representative Iganga District. I would like to thank the President for the State of the Nation address on 4th of July. But, Right Honorable Speaker, it has been years since Iganga District has been yearning to get a new central modernized market. We all know that Iganga District is the center of Busoga region. All the neighboring districts come to Iganga District for trading. I urge the government to prioritize this. At least all the vendors who are evicted from the street because of the trade order enforcement to get where to work from. I beg to submit.
Thank you. Now, Miriam Mukaye.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Miriam Muhaye is my name, and I represent the people of Mbale District in the Parliament of Uganda. I also want to appreciate the President for the State of the Nation address and for the issues he's raised. One of them is to transform the economy into the money economy from subsistence. It's where I want to raise the issue of the parish development model. I want to appreciate government for that model. It has helped a number of people, but I want to say that one size fits all approach may not help to transform the people in our communities. There are some parishes that have a bigger population, the geographical area is not good, and if all parishes are given the 100 million, then it will not help to transform our communities well. Mbale is one of the districts that has bigger parishes with over 5,000 people in each parish. And so the 100 million, some people up to now just hear of it, but have not gotten it. Why? Because the population is high. I want to urge government that even as we increase the money to 200 million, let's consider the size of the parish. Let's consider the number of households in the parishes, not to just give the same amount for each parish like it is today. Secondly, the people of Mbale District do not have a district hospital. We only have one health center and yet Mbale District has 3 constituencies, and one of the constituency is hard to reach. I want to urge government that as we desire our government to have good service delivery, especially in the area of health, let's consider Mbale district and we upgrade the current health center for the only one that it was still health center for to a district hospital, and also the other constituencies, especially the hard to reach, to get their health center force. And that will help our people to Mbale to be able to appreciate the services that government is bringing on board. I also want to appreciate the President for the continued support that he gives to the people of Uganda, and especially the people of Bugisu sub-region. But one challenge that we still have is our terrain has affected our people. Continuous rains.
Thank you. Now, sorry, I forgot the name of my sister. Yes, Honorable. I'll give you a chance. Kodir. Yeah. She had abandoned me these days.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. Chandia Bernadette Kodili, Woman Member of Parliament, Moyo District. Newly elected Secretary Wopa. Thank you to the women. Right Honorable Speaker, I would like to join the rest of my colleagues to thank the President for the State of the Nation address. I would like to address myself specifically to wealth creation and money in people's pockets, specifically for the people of Moyo. As I speak right now, our crossing is cut off because the ferry at Laropi crossing is going to be under repair for the next 2 weeks. That literally means on top of the high prices of fuel, we have an extra 100 kilometers if I'm to pass Arua, and an extra 40 kilometers if I'm to pass via Obongi. So that means, realistically speaking, for the people of Moyo, everything becomes very expensive. And this has been over the years. It's very cumulative. So I want to address myself to the Minister for Agriculture that you should consider in a special way Moyo district. If we want to go into the money economy in terms of commercializing agriculture, we need to consider some of these places. We are not hard to reach in terms of government policies, and yet in real sense, Moyo is hard to reach. So the people are struggling. We always say that a team is as strong as its weakest link. My urge to the ministers, as we plan in all our plannings, let's look at those districts that are very far away and the challenges that the people undergo if we are talking about the money economy. Otherwise, it may not be so realistic for my people. And then in terms of roads, this one I think we have talked about it. Now that I have to pass Arua, there are so many stretches that I have to suffer through. So these roads that connect for trade, we really need to think about them critically so that we make it easy for our people. Otherwise, factors of production go up, cost of doing business goes up. If you buy a cement in Kampala at 35,000, in Moyo I'll have to buy it at 40,000 because of some of these challenges. I thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity, and I know that if we critically look at the issues that members raise on the floor, Uganda is going to be a beautiful country. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Muir Paul, Honorable Musanje Moses, Honorable Edop Peter.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker and the colleagues. I want to thank the President for fulfilling the constitutional mandate which forms the basis of the debate. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, I want to talk about corruption and its effect on service delivery. The fight on corruption has eluded the President and he only refers to it in statements. We lose 10 trillion annually as per the Inspector of Government.
And the effect of 10 trillion annually means that if we are to look at our road sector, we have 159 kilometers, 561. The cost of construction of 1 kilometer of road, if it is 4 millimeter asphalt, is 5 billion. So if we are to divide the 10 trillion by the 5 billion, annually we would have tarmac 2,000 kilometers. And if we are to multiply that by the 5 years in a term, we would have tarmac 10,000 kilometers. And if we are to multiply by the number of terms, then NRM has been here, we would have tarmacked 80,000 kilometers. So all this complex we are engaging in actually would not work. We passed here a budget for construction of Umbi Hospital. We appropriated 100 billion, the cost of that magnitude. If we are to divide the 10 trillion annually stolen by 100 billion, we would have 100 hospitals at the level of referral hospitals. So even this business we engage in, it ought to be an issue. So that is the effect of corruption. In a desperate attempt to show that corruption is being fought, the president has unleashed my good friend Honorable Balam to the local government. And I see people kidnapping. I want to inform members that actually local government receives 6 trillion out of our budget. And of that, 5 trillion is recurrent salary and allowances. So what goes to development is 744 billion. So my good friend Honorable would make sense if I had been unleashed where money is, or where the biggest percentage of money is. So I want to invite colleagues that it is high time we stopped kidnapping and actually we looked for the solution. The biggest percentage of the money stays in the center. And now corruption has been actually affected by malady. Thank you. Now, Honorable, I will continue clapping for Honorable Baram, despite your request, because I was with him in my constituents over the weekend. He helped me know some of the things I didn't know. You see, his style, some of us elites might be uncomfortable with it. But the local people, that's the style they are appreciating. Because the roads which I had been begging that they do, when they had it coming, oh, now I was driving as if I was on tarmac. What were they doing all along? So he might have, there might be some weaknesses which we can talk to Honorable Baram, but he's doing a great job. And maybe one day I'll ask him to come and submit a statement here. We go through it in detail. But one thing I've discovered, honorable colleagues, is these barazas. We as members, to have our own barazas. Some people are seated on issues which we don't know. Okay? Some people are seated on issues, deep issues. By the way, even beyond stealing of money, beyond corruption, there are issues that are stifling development in our area, which have been, and some conflicts which are making us, because you ask yourself, what is Honorable Baram doing? That we the elite are not picking properly, but the local people are connecting with. I don't stay in the village, okay? Now, how come I criticize someone who has gone to the village and is welcomed by the villagers? And they are demanding, come. Me who doesn't say there and I say, you're not doing a good job. So me, I'm even going to invite him again in Mitoma. Maybe things could move. Yeah. But I think what we will do, Honorable Mwiru, we should ask him to bring a statement to update us as a house on his work, and we see how best we can support him. Okay? Yes, Honorable Msanje Moses, Honorable Edok Peter. Then Honorable Asensio, and we go.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Msanje Moses Lukanga for the people of Njero Municipality. Right Honorable Speaker, On behalf of the people of Njeru Municipality, I will not be so quick to thank the President on the State of the Nation address, because in the State of the Nation address, the President failed to address any issue regarding the bottlenecks in the transmission of electricity. And there are bottlenecks in the transmission and deemed energy payments within the country. In the Auditor General's report of 2025, 27 billion shillings was paid in deemed energy, Right Honourable Speaker. And yet, transformers in Agago, Namamve, Lugazi, and Owen Falls didn't work between 8 months and 14 months. There wouldn't have been any need to pay the deemed energy worth 27 billion shillings if these transformers were working. In Njeru Municipality, it is 00 kilometers away from Owen Falls. We have 67 out of 137 villages that don't have power. I believe the cost of transmission of power from the Owen Falls to Njeru Municipality is lesser than in any other part of the country. But 67 out of 136 villages not having power is one of the issues the President failed to address. Right Honourable Speaker, in 1984, the minimum wage in Uganda was 6,000 shillings. In 2025 and 2026, there is no minimum wage in Uganda. We have close to 300 industries and manufacturing plants within Njeru Municipality. The lack of minimum wage in Uganda shows the reason why there are factories in Njeru Municipality, but youths don't go to access the jobs because there is no minimum wage. If you compare and adjust by inflation from 6,000 in 1984 to it turns out to be 800,000 in 2026. Today, there is no minimum wage, and it accounts for the reason why most of the youths have no jobs, despite there being factories in Njeru Municipality. Right Honourable Speaker, I will feel delighted.
Thank you. It's Honourable Edop Peter, and then Honourable Peter, then Honourable. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I want to associate myself to congratulate the President on the State of the Nation address. I was mostly impressed by the aspiration of Uganda to be a 500 billion economy in 13 years. For Uganda to reach that level, we need to have a thriving private sector. And private sector in Uganda is dominated by micro, small, and medium enterprises, which contribute to about 90% of our GDP. For the sector to strive, we need to have a conducive environment for them to grow. Unfortunately, with the current environment that we have, they cannot be able to reach that level by that time. Because especially the startup businesses in Uganda, their lifespan is very bad. Only 40% of the businesses when you start can reach 5 years. How shall we be able to encourage other people to invest? And the major reasons are basically the statutory obligations, taxes, and then taxes especially, and then of course access to credit. But taxes is very important because for us to be able to encourage people to invest, we need to give them incentives. Because we attract foreign direct investment by giving them incentives, especially tax incentives. So my prayer is we should also give incentives to people who want to start businesses by giving them tax holidays of at least 5 years for them to be able to stabilize and then start getting from their income. That is my appeal to the Minister of Finance and also to the government of Uganda. My second issue is in 2021, the government of Uganda created 10 cities. When those cities were created, new district headquarters were relocated in rural communities. One of those districts which was affected is Soroti district, where I come from. I represent.
Sorry, Honorable Saura Hakim, Honorable Mara Sensio. Don't mind, you will get time to raise that issue. Now we use only 3 minutes in State of the Nation.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Chiza Hakim Saula, coming from Bukoto South Constituency in Irengo District, a rural constituency where 80% of the population depend on agriculture. And that forces me to pick interest on page 11 and 12 of the State of the Nation Address 2026, which has highlighted that the country needs to go commercial in agriculture. It is so much interesting, I think, to each member here in the House. Every one of us would want us to go that way. Unfortunately, I don't think that that one can be achieved if we continue depend on the traditional natural rainy seasons, the 2 seasons of the rain. That is why, Mr. Speaker, I come up to invite members, especially the Minister of Agriculture and the Cabinet, to think and adopt new ways of handling, of managing the water system to sustain agriculture. In 2017, the government came up with a program of having road units at every district. I think it can be done in agriculture also, that the government comes up with a program to have water unit machines which can dig water, permanent water sources to each district. Actually, for the road units we are placed at the district, but for the water systems it can be placed at the constituency levels. I've had many members of parliament here crying about the drought which has invaded us each year, but we cannot manage it if we don't go this way. The water tables here in our country is not so deep. Here in Central, if you dig 30 to 40 meters, you can find water. If these machines can be placed there, we can get opportunities to have water sources which are permanent, which can support agriculture. Therefore, actually on the same page, 11 and 12, the President highlighted there is too much money, 16,000 billion shillings for commercial agriculturists. Why don't we use the same money to support this program? If not, why don't we prioritize this program?
Thank you, Mara Sensio. Then ministers, I'll start with Minister for Education.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Honorable Mujunmara Sensio, and I'm representing the people of Isenjo South. I'm happy about the presidency theme that he gave us this year for Sanja No More Sleep. And indeed, many people have woken up and they are busy working. But through working, we have found out some problems that have made people not work very well. For example, in my area, we are happy that we have a dam that we generate electricity from. But it is too unfortunate that the areas around don't have electricity. So I request if the Minister of Energy can come up and help us in that, because many people are complaining them having a dam and they don't have electricity. It is really disturbing, and actually it has even caused some problems in that some health center tools, for example one called Chihi in Chihi Parish, when it comes at night they don't operate because they don't have electricity, and even the solar system they were using, it also died, so they don't operate at all when it comes at night. And even in Rianga Parish there's also a health center too. When it comes at night they don't operate because they don't have electricity. And of course it brings problems to our people who are sick. Remember, people get sick anytime. So I request the Minister of Energy if they can help us and they give us electricity and they prioritize constituencies that have dams. At least they can put electricity in every village. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ministers. Starting with Minister of Education.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker and honourable colleagues. I am here on behalf of the Human Capital Development and Special Education as sub-project to answer some of the questions which have been raised. Right Honourable Speaker, the first question comes from a colleague from Katerera County constituency, and he addresses on the subject matter of no-seed school in about 2 sub-counties. Like I've always said and stated here before, that the ministry is implementing projects which are others are already existing, others are yet to start. And specifically, I want to address myself to a project called Uganda Learning Acceleration Program under ULAN. This is a new project which is targeting to construct 6 seed schools in various parts of the country. We are on course, and in that line we also have started discussion to have UGIFT 2 get on board to help us supplement on some of the constituencies, special sub-counties without seed schools. So we want to implore you to work with us to achieve our plan in line with the manifesto. Issue 2 was raised by came from my sister from Karamoja, Honorable Atiang. She talked about the need for children to be at school, and specifically the skilling question in Karamoja sub-region. Right Honourable Speaker, with specific facts, allow me to say 17 schools have been constructed under UGIFT 1 in Karamoja sub-region, and again 10 out of the 17, 10 have been completed, and about one is pending, 6 are ongoing. And these schools are in the following sub-counties: there is Karita, Panyangara, Rupa, Lolachat, Nakaprepiret, Napak. All these are complete. The other projects also which is benefiting the sub-region is under the same Uganda Accelerated Learning. It is also constructing 4 new schools earmarked for Abim, Amudat, Kotido Central Division, Lokopo in Napak. These ones are yet to start. In the same vein, we have under ULAN 5 traditional schools are going to be constructed in the Karamoja sub-region. These, Right Honourable Speaker, we have Abim SS in Abim district. I have Kotido SS in Kotido. I have Moroto High School in Moroto. I have Kangole Girls in Kabong, Moroto. Then I have Kabong SS. These ones are entirely intended to deal with the former old schools. Right Honourable Speaker, when we talk about university education, we want to confirm we are building Gulu University Conference College in Karamoja and Moroto. Land was secured. The National Enterprise Corporation want to thank the leadership of the UPDF, specifically with the General Kiding who is here. Under the UPDF are 25% on course in terms of constructing a conference college for Gulu University in Karamoja sub-region. Under TVET, skilling, we have Moroto Technical Institute is one of the 8 sites under Islamic Development Bank, which we are already undertaking the construction in that area, and that will target to ensure that our people from that part of the country get skills. Last but not least, on the same subject matter, is on the students' loan scheme. This is a scheme which is targeted for all our districts in the country. Karamoja is not an exception. I want to encourage you, honorable colleagues, to join the sector and the ministry in terms of handling and mobilizing this question. The last question came for me from my sister from Serere. My sister said if I don't support her, then she has no second term. I want to say that the government of the Republic of Uganda, under the able leadership of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, will continue to fulfill the manifesto as per what we pledged in the following way. For purposes of Serere, we all know that we have Olio Polytechnic, which Olio is within our plans to rehabilitate, to equip and expand. The ministry has already developed a paper, like I told you one time here, that our focus for now is to have 1 technical school per district so that we cover the entire country. So for Serere, Olio Polytechnic is already there. What we are trying to do is to rehabilitate it, equip it, expand it, and upgrade it to be 1 technical school for Serere as a district. And here we have written a paper, Minister of Finance is already discussing with development partners to ensure that this money is available during our course of the term of office so that we are able to have this dream or this plan in our manifesto. Honorable Speaker, the last information is just to appeal to you colleagues that we intend, like you correctly said, our dear Minister of Local Government is doing a wonderful work. As the Minister of Education and Sports, we also want to confirm we send money to district local governments. And as of this morning, we have agreed as the top managers of the ministry, we are going to communicate to you each of the locations we send to each district in terms of what that money is doing, so that you help us to monitor. For the record, we send about 3.1 trillion to the district local government, and this is the money in this year's budget. What is it meant to cater for? We have the wages for primary, secondary, and skills development. Then we have non-wage. This non-wage is where we have issues. Talk about capitation grants, talk about school maintenance, talk about skilling, talk about inspection, talk about co-cultural activities, talk about DO monitoring. These are areas, and even SFC development ground. These are areas, SFG development ground, where we really need to pay more attention as we go and monitor these projects. I give a case study of my own constituency, like Speaker, you said yours. I too didn't know that in my district, a classroom block, a new classroom block is constructed at about 82 million to 89 with an office. But in my district, they're renovating 2 classroom blocks with 105 million. I don't know whether you get the point here. If a new one is costing 82 to 88, these are 2. But the renovation is giving you 105 million exclusive of tax. So why then didn't you take away this old one and constructed a new one? I thank you so much for listening to me.
Thank you. Yes. Any other minister? Honorable Huda Oleru, Defense.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to inform and ensure our people of Karamoja sub-region through the Woman OP of Moroto district that UPDF has a full formation in Karamoja. We have 3rd Infantry Division, which is in Karamoja,
but
and specifically in Moroto.
When did you learn that language of formation of infantry? Me, I'm not understanding what. You have a team of infants?
Okay, so we have...
Speak a language which civilian is like...
We have a barracks in Moroto with unities in other districts, and basically is to protect our Karamojongs and the neighboring districts. Therefore, the security that UPDF has already created in Karamoja will not be destabilized again. Thank you.
Thank you. I can see Honorable my sister Huda is gone. The language has changed. Yes, Honorable Azar, you have any issues for your sector? Just your sector.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I would like to thank all the members who had asked questions and sought clarifications in regards to the State of the Nation address by the President, and specifically the member from Dokolo who talked about factors of production, that is land, labor, capital for production. He also talked about PDM. That is directly in my docket. He also talked about money economy, climate change, industrial park, and agro-industrialization. Mr. Speaker, in the year 2010, Uganda coined what was referred to as Vision 2040. And Vision 2040 was supposed to be implemented to money economy. Not only that, Mr. Speaker, during this period, Uganda is supposed to move away from the economy of $50 billion to $500 billion by 2040. Now, in order to achieve the above, Uganda has come up with what we call the 10th Fold Growth Strategy.
But Honorable Azar,
yes,
you're taking us. These are the issues the President raised in the State of the Nation address.
Yes.
Now you're repeating exactly what he said. So what do we expect from you? Are there issues from your sector?
Right Honorable Speaker, I am trying to stress
about
the fact that...
Don't try. don't try.
Okay, right now as I talk,
Yeah,
right Honorable
just
Speaker,
conclude on this.
We have started the sensitization, mobilization, and education of the masses to embrace President Museveni's vision under cooperatives. But I first wanted to educate the masses about what my docket is about. Otherwise, as I talk now, Right Honorable Speaker, I've already covered Acholi. I was in West Acholi Cooperative Society. There were issues there which are trying to rectify.
Can I make it easier for you, Honorable Azar?
Yes.
Why don't you mobilize us? Because, for example,
Yes.
I didn't know you're doing this. So why don't you prepare a paper, a statement?
Yes.
You bring it here.
Yes.
We discuss with you and we give you all the support because Azar, you are our champion. And you know you're
Most
our
obliged,
favorite.
right Honorable.
I
Yeah,
can
so
even give
members,
you
be
space on
ready.
Thursday.
I'm coming. We have finished Acholi. We have moved to Madi, and we are trying to move the whole country. So that we want, our role is to make everybody embrace cooperatives and involve themselves in the circles. Thank you very much, Right Honorable.
Yeah, thank you. You know, Azar has the soft spot in my heart because, and I hope Cabinet will release you when we start our games because he's our most reliable champion. Okay? Yeah, so I'll be happy if you could bring a statement and we support you, Honor.
Yeah, thank you, Right Honorable. As I talk now, as said by Wanyoto, we're already training for the interparliamentary games, and we are due to leave for Arusha in the first week of December. Mine is middle distance running, that is 200 meters and 400 meters. Thank you very much.
And the medals are guaranteed, as usual. Thank you. Yes, Minister for Tourism, Honor Iwanaka Uchi.
Thank you, Right Honorable. And just to remind you that I'm also a sports lady. I'm a dangerous substitute when it comes to netball and golf, together with Honorable Lydia Wanyeto. I would like to respond to the Honorable Member from Karenga. He raised the issue of Karenga and he felt like UA, or the Minister of Tourism, is not doing enough to address the issues of human-wildlife conflict. But Honorable Speaker, just for the record of this House, since Thursday last week, myself and my senior minister, together with the entire team of Uganda Wildlife Authority, we were in Karenga trying to address most of these issues. The issue of Karenga is unique in a way that the president gave a directive in 2024 to do fencing on Kidepo Valley National Park. And where the problem came in was the fact that there is a national park, but also there is a community conservation area. So only half the animals are in the national park, and the rest of the animals are in the community conservation area. So if we went into fence of the park, we don't have solved the problem. So we've been engaging the leadership of the community to allow us fence from the community conservation area. But every time we engaged with them, we came up with a consensus, and when they went back, they changed their minds. We even took them to see what we had done with other national parks like Markshan Falls, but still they failed. That's why the entire team, we went to address that issue. And I would like to report that actually, by the time we left on Sunday, we had agreed on line fencing. Now we are going to fence the hotspot areas to ensure that we stop the conflict. And two, on the issue of compensation, it's true we've lost a number of lives in Karenga. Even last week we lost 2 people due to elephant attacks. But every time there is such incidences, UA comes in to do compensation. We actually first give a compassionate contribution towards burial expenses, which is 5 million, and then 20 million is paid to the family as compensation. The only problem has been with the elephants ravaging the gardens. There is a process the community is supposed to go through to acquire the compensation. For example, there has to be valuation. The agriculture officer of the district goes to do valuation, and then we do compensation. And a lot of people have been compensated. So it's not true that UA is not doing what it's supposed to do. We are playing our part. We just needed the leadership to stand with us, and we finish this once and for all. So we've already started. The teams are on ground to do the line fencing, and by the time we are done, I'm sure there is going to be 0 cases of human-wildlife conflict. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable. On compensation, I was in the village over the weekend. There are people, I know Martin Mugara came over, and the committee, and there are people who were verified, but now around 3 years, they've not been paid. So, but I'll be raising, I'll send you the list so that you can help. Honorable Government Chief Whip.
Right, Honorable Speaker, allow me to respond to the issues raised regarding health. Many members, very many actually, I recorded nearly 25 members who raised issues concerning hospitals, health center floors, availability of medicines. Right, Honorable Speaker, it is indeed true that the manifesto of this government clearly states that there should be a hospital per district and a health center 4 per constituency and a health center 3 per sub-county. Right, Honorable Speaker, government in the last term embarked on constructing health center 3s and upgrading, and did a good job. To date, only 488 sub-counties are left. The hospitals have been attended to a little slowly, and the health center falls. But I want to report that government is processing UGIFT 2 to address the issues of completion of the health center 3s, health center 4s, and some hospitals. Right, Honorable Speaker, perhaps to make this issue more clear, we'll request Ministry of Health to come and make a statement on UGIFT 2 and what it will do in the various districts in the country. Similarly, we'll also ask them to come and talk about medicines. But I want to clearly state that for the health center 3s that were constructed, funds for medicines and equipment and recruitment of human resources was provided to the districts. During the next phase of UGIFT 2, similarly, there will be funds for recruitment and for medicines. So, Right Honorable Speaker, with your permission, I will alert the Minister to come and make that statement. I thank you.
Thank you. Energy, then Rhodes.
Right Honorable Speaker, there were quite a number of questions asked on energy. The President was right on saying every part of the country would be covered by electricity. However, considering the budget, we have got to prioritize. To address the delivery of a 10-fold program, we have got to prioritize electricity to drive ATMs. We have got to make sure that we take electricity where agriculture is for value addition to drive the economy. We have got to take electricity to tourist sites. We have got to take electricity to mineral sites and then support the development of science and technology. To actually allay fears that there is going to be any places without electricity, as a ministry, our strategy is to electrify this country fully by 2030 or thereabout. And the electrification of the country is going to take twofold. One, the grid. The grid moves slowly, but we are going to focus also using renewable energy, rooftop mini grids. So 2030, we should be able to reach every part and every village of this country. There are so many strategies which we are using to achieve this. We are providing subsidies for for solar lighting, solar installations in the villages. We have a program for that. I will talk to that in my statement, which I'm going to make on Thursday. We are also looking at how do we take electricity to those growth centers. It would be very difficult for us to take a grid to every village, but we shall take electricity to growth centers where there is milling, where there is industrialization. We shall take electricity to industrial parks. We shall take electricity for irrigation, which you talked about, where there is going to be water for production. That one will enable us to actually achieve the 10-fold growth strategy. So let's be patient. We shall be delivering electricity. To answer a few questions which were asked. West Nile, thank you for...
What were you doing?
That was general.
That was a preamble.
That was general for everybody, giving hope to everybody, but there were specific questions. Like West Nile, thank you for acknowledging that we delivered a grade to West Nile. The next stage is actually taking it, West Nile, since the creation of Earth, they actually got electricity, bulk electricity. I'm going to charge them to attract industries, to use that electricity for production. But we are going to give priority to West Nile for distribution of electricity. Kajara, on the quality of electricity, this is where we are focusing now. Umeme left very weak infrastructure. What you consider load sheddings are not actually load sheddings. It's a collapse of the infrastructure which cannot contain the much electricity which is being pumped into it. So we are addressing and strengthening the infrastructure for delivering electricity for where you are living. Weak electricity. Weak electricity, we are going to inject more. As we are strengthening the infrastructure, we are going to be injecting transformers to stabilize electricity in the various areas where there is weak electricity. Buikwe and Injeru were aware of your challenge. For Injeru Town Council, you talked of transmission. We're actually establishing a substation in Injeru to address the shortfalls of the growth of your industrial area. We are actually going to put electricity in Injeru, a substation, which will enhance the use of electricity for productive purposes, which will create jobs, which will create value addition in Injeru. Atan, yes, electricity in Soroti Hospital, ministry is responsible for taking electricity to a center like a hospital. But then the wiring of hospitals, the wiring of your houses, we are not responsible for that. The shortfalls and the short circuits which he was talking about, that's a wiring problem, and we are going to institutionalize inspection of government facilities to make sure that the wiring is proper. And for hospitals like Soroti Hospital, we are going to improve the stability of power by providing a dedicated line. But we shall discuss with my colleague, Minister of Health, to make sure that the wiring is properly addressed. For Bishop Obaikol, Bishop Obaikol was my teacher. So I actually feel so bad that power went off when he was moved from a central hospital to a smaller facility. Power being unstable, you cannot attribute that it was an outage. It could have actually been a wiring problem. We shall investigate such occurrences. Woman MP for Ginger, electricity in health centers. Health centers are going to be a priority. We are working with Ministry of Health. Where it is a hard-to-reach area, Ministry of Health is guiding us to provide solar electricity supply. Where there is a weak power, we prioritize giving either dedicated line or providing appropriate transformers to supply electricity to such places. Chegegwa, weak power, I've already talked about injection of transformers. In Jero, I've talked about your transmission line. And Isengiro, yes, I appreciate what you have put on the floor. We are actually addressing how we can bring that power which is generated in your in the substation, in the power plant in Isengiro, how we can enhance the distribution of electricity in Isengiro. I will be providing details in the statement which I'm going to make on Thursday. So, Honorable Speaker, I wish to submit for now, but I'll come back on Thursday.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Lands. Oh, Wax was then Lands.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable, there have been a lot of issues that have come from members concerning the road sector, and some of these issues are being tackled by the ministry, But there are other issues that we may not be able to present today because we have also been capturing what the members are coming up with during this debate on the state of the nation. But what I want to assure the committees that the last week the minister, Honorable Fred Yamukama, was here and gave a statement, and we promised to come back and improve on that statement to capture the wider perspective of the nation. And I just want to say that I've been able also to fast track on some of this. We know we have pressure because road and transport is an enabler. There's also pressure coming from the sectors in the districts. There's an issue on the road fund, which seem to be small based on the wider networks that districts are trying to develop. But at the same time, we also believe there are some wider districts that would need bigger money in terms of maintenance and also even additional units, road equipment. So these are some of the things, Mr. Speaker, when we are given time, we shall come back to this House and give a perspective on how the road sector stands for the nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We referred that statement to the Committee on Physical Infrastructure, and we hope they are going to expedite and bring a report here, which we shall discuss. Yes, Honourable Minister.
Yes, I've been reminded of one question, very important question, Mitoma. Mitoma, I'm aware that you have a weak power supply. And Mitoma, I'm going to address it specifically to improve the stability of electricity in Mitoma. So, so my colleague from Mitoma, I'm addressing your concerns.
Thank you. Now,
and also the chair.
Hope this time it will be addressed. Yeah, and why I'm saying this, honorable colleagues, I remember during the time of Umeme, I pushed this issue, and you improved the station at Kagamba, the line at Kagamba. You then you also rehabilitated the line to Rukunji, which we are feeding from, and they promised we went. Umeme MD came, senior officials, and the party was made that power would no longer visit you temporarily for, you know. Then it became worse. So I'm recording. So I hope really it surprised me. I even stopped pursuing that issue. Me and General Tafiri, we will need. I don't know what went wrong, Honorable Minister.
Umeme actually, when they knew their concession was coming to an end, stopped investing in infrastructure. They actually now concentrated on making money for themselves. And I promise you this time, using our own company, it will not end because it will be with us. We are going to address the shortfalls.
Thank you. Honourable Minister for Lands.
Right, Honourable. But the minister has committed himself. I just have like
I need the land titles. You went around Bushenyi, you gave free land titles to everyone.
Yes.
On my area, you avoided it. So.
Yeah, right, Honourable, because Mitoma, we shall be coming, but at least Mitoma was still somehow, you have handled at least the land conflicts well. So when you look at the reasons as to why land fund was started, it was mainly to address historical injustices. And those historical injustices, counties like Bugangaizi, Uganda here, and others were mentioned. But moving forward, the government saw that even other places were being affected by land conflicts. And also issuing out land titles was not part of the program. They thought government would buy land, leave the people to stay there, just on government land, but they own it by occupation. But later on, they raised an issue that they want to have complete ownership. And that's why we introduced the issue of titling. Otherwise, government, when they buy for you, they can't come to chase you. But for people to be secure, they thought they should get those titles. So in Mitoma, we shall come, right, Honourable. But we are now hustling with completing Bugangaizi, my brother and friend, Honorable Nesmas, because they have a reason to complain. Because when you read the origin of land fund, it was purposely for them. And we have handled even other areas advanced than the original areas which are mentioned as the reasons as to why land fund should be created. So, Honorable Nesmas, I know the last time you were suffering with the same, but you whispered to me and said, my sister, I don't want to lose this seat again. And I said, don't worry, now that we are here. But generally, we are going to address Bugangaizi, all that area of Greater Chivali, and Buganda as well. And now we have crossed Western Uganda. We have even we are tackling also part of Eastern Uganda. We want people to have security of tenure, so we shall address it. The other question was from my sister from Bujiri. She's talking about Uchimid. Uchimid now, you are lucky that Bujiri is part and parcel. Right Honorable, thank you for supporting this. I know you're very passionate, because this is a program which is really beautifying towns, cities, and municipalities. And for Bujiri, we are even adding in a component. We are moving out only from roads, just constructing town or city roads, but we are doing also beautification. We want our country now to come up with, flowers, very, very admirable streets, and also public spaces, which are lacking so much in our country. And so the coordinator of UCHMID we have communicated, the PS communicated to all the districts, municipalities, and towns, colleagues, if you have open spaces, reserve them and reach out to us as Ministry of Lands, because people are lacking where to hang out. Just planting grass and flowers, and we put a few facilities, most of public toilets, and the place is okay. So you can move, Right Honorable, in a city, and you want to go for any place of convenience, and you will not see it. You will not see it. You have to enter arcades, you have to enter people's hotels and request, which is an embarrassment. Sometimes people lose that confidence of saying, help me, I want to go to a wash place. So we have included that in the UCHMID program, which people are known as USMID. Now they call it UCHMID. And I'm sure it's going to add a lot of value to our public spaces and the outlook of our countries through planting flowers, grass, and paving. So that is what I had to answer. I think my colleague Honorable from Chegwegwa, you will reach me out and I get that question properly so that we can address that. But what I want to assure you lastly, you're Right Honorable, is that the Ministry of Finance has finally listened to us as Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, and we have engaged them and told them this land fund issue has been in place for a long time. People are demanding so many years back, 10, 8, and many have died and left this money. So PSST has agreed that at least they are going to be releasing a batch of about 50 billions other than the 11 and 9 they have been releasing, so that we are able to cover a wide area, especially Buganda and Bugangaizi, Bunyolo, and other parts which are affected by land conflicts. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Colleagues, House adjourned to tomorrow at 2 p.m.